Hello there, welcome or welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Samantha and this is my channel where I talk all about books. Anyway, today is a very exciting video because today is my celebration video for my 9-year booktube anniversary. Yes, I started my booktube channel in 2014. I actually started my channel on May 23rd, 2014. That was the day that I posted my first video. So that day has actually been and gone, unfortunately. I was planning to post this video on the day, but because it's a reading vlog, it just takes a little bit more time and preparation, which I did not think through. So yes, it is a little bit late, so I apologize for that. But I still wanted to post this video because I thought it would be a fun concept and I wanted to celebrate 9 years of me posting videos on YouTube, because that's a pretty respectable tenure on booktube, you know? I've been here since early days of booktube and it's changed and grown so much since I started, and it's really cool to have just been around this long and to have been able to see it changing and adapting over the years. It's been a really interesting experience. Also, I have grown a lot with my channel. I started off my channel when I was 15 years old and I will be 25 at the end of this year, which is very crazy to me. I'm so grateful for this community. I have really enjoyed my time posting videos here, even though I'm maybe not as regular as I used to be. But if we keep in mind the fact that when I started my channel, I didn't have anything else going on, and now I have a full-time job, and like over the years I've gone to university. Anyway, it has been a wild ride. We've had a lot of changes on here with me personally and in the booktube community in general. But yeah, it's been great and I'm not planning to go anywhere anytime soon. I might change up my content a little bit. I always say that. I always say I want to post some lifestyle content too, and then I don't do it. But I actually do mean it. I might start posting some lifestyle content because it's like 90% of what I'm watching at the moment and I'm really enjoying it. So you might see some of that in the future. But anyway, enough prefacing, this is a very exciting reading vlog because in this reading vlog I am going to be rereading books that I used to love when I started my channel. So yes, I'm going to be rereading 3 books that were in my top 10 books of 2014, or whatever it was, top 14 of 2014. I don't know what video I posted and I'm pretty sure it's private now anyway, but whatever. I did some research, I looked into what I was loving when I started my channel, and I thought I would reread those books to see if they still hold up. So yes, I've decided on 3 books because that is a manageable number and I don't have time to read more than that, unfortunately. So yes, I will be rereading 3 books that I used to love and literally be obsessed with, and we're gonna see if they're still as good as I remember, which I don't think they will be, but we're gonna see. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get into book number 1. So I've decided I'm gonna start things off with Divergent by Veronica Roth. This is the book that got me into booktube, so I think it's only fitting that I start with this book. I remember my reading experience with this book so well because it was the first time that I was so obsessed with the book that I wanted all of my friends to read it, and I literally lent my book out to I think like 3 or 4 of my friends, and we all read it at the same time and we really enjoyed it. As soon as I bought the sequel, I lent that to all of my friends, and then again with the final book. So it was just like the first time I really got to experience a book with other people. And I also found booktube from this book because I remember after I read it, I think I was looking for reviews or something like that. Actually, I think it was after I finished Allegiant and I was looking for reviews because Allegiant is quite frankly trash. So yeah, I think it was when I finished reading Allegiant and I was looking for reviews, and then I found Kaz from Little Book Owl's channel. I think she'd done like a trailer reaction for Divergent, and so I watched that video and I found her channel and I found this whole community, and that is how I got into booktube in the first place. So yeah, it's all because of this book, so I think it's just fitting that I start off with Divergent. I'm scared, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very scared because like my last experience with Divergent would have been the movies, which are awful, and also Allegiant, which was also terrible. So I'm worried, I'm very concerned, but I remember loving this so much. I'm gonna see how it goes, but I will update you as I go on with it, and if I do hate it, I can DNF it. That's kind of the whole point of this, is to see if these books are still good. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with Divergent and I'll check in with you around the halfway mark probably. Oh, hello. Hi. Oh, you're being cute for once. What do you want? Hello, I'm back to talk about Divergent. I said I was going to check in at the halfway point, but that didn't happen. I also listened to most of this on audio in the end because my library had the audiobook and I quite like listening to something while I walk to and from the station when I'm going to work. I mostly listen to this on audio and I feel like maybe that took away from my enjoyment, I don't know. But overall, this book does not stand the test of time. If you don't know what this book is about, it basically follows our main character, Tris Pryor, and she's 16 years old, and in the world that she lives in, when you're 16, you have to do this choosing ceremony because essentially the world is split up into 5 factions based on a character trait. That was like one of my big gripes. Anyway, based on character traits, you are separated into 5 factions and you're just obviously born into a faction, but when you turn 16, you get to choose. But there are some people who actually belong in more than one faction and they are called Divergent, which for some reason in this world is a terrible thing. If you're Divergent, like the government is going to try and kill you. The reason why I did not enjoy this book second time around is because I just the whole time was thinking like, but what is the point? Like, why on earth would a government decide to split people into factions based on personality traits? To me, that just seems so weird. And like the whole thing is if you're not entirely, for example, Tris comes from abnegation and their whole thing is that they're supposed to be super selfless and put everyone above themselves. And it's like, if you're not doing that 100% of the time, like, oh, it's a big issue. And it's just like, what? I don't know, it just felt so weird to me because it's not like, I felt like it was just really, I mean, obviously it's gonna be unrealistic, it is fiction, but like, it just felt so weird because nobody is selfless the entire time. Nobody is honest all of the time. Like, you know, brutally honest 100% of the time, always speaks their mind. Like, I don't know, it just felt really weird to me to, like the whole setup just felt weird to me. And then a lot of people were saying like, oh, this is definitely a Hunger Games ripoff. I didn't really think about that when I read it the first time, but when I was going into it this time, I did look at reviews before I went into it, and I had that in my mind, and I was thinking, but how is it similar? But actually, I can kind of see what people are talking about because essentially, once you've gone into the faction, you then have to earn your place there. You have to pass initiation, and throughout that, you know, some people die, and you know, kind of pitting children against each other. My biggest issue though is that I found Tris to be so annoying. I don't understand how I was so obsessed with this when I was younger. Tris was so annoying. I thought the whole situation with her and Four was quite weird because she was thinking like, oh my god, he's so much older, but it's like, he's literally 2 years older than you. Like, that's not really a big deal. I mean, obviously I'm not like trying to say that they should be engaging in any hanky-panky because that is literally illegal, but you know, it's not like a huge age gap that it's like, oh, that's so weird. I think the weirder issue around that is sort of the power imbalance between them because obviously he's like an instructor and then she's kind of his pupil. So yeah, that is weirder to me than the age difference. I didn't really enjoy this, which is such a shame because I loved it so much before. I gave this a 2.5. Hopefully the rest of my rereads are more fun and enjoyable. Like, don't get me wrong, I still had a good time, but I could definitely see that this book was not for me anymore. I'm not sure which book I'm going to start next, but I will be back when I've chosen and started reading that. So we'll see you in a little bit. Hello pals, I'm here with book number 2 of this vlog. I'm currently reading Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, a booktube fave from 2014. And I'm not gonna lie, I used to love this book. Like, I think I read it in 2014 and then I read it the next year as well because I was like, oh my god, I'm so obsessed. And I'd never really read like a romance type of book. It's basically a young adult romance, contemporary, whatever you want to call it, about a girl called Anna, and she's like 18, I think, or turning 18. Anyway, she's in her senior year of high school, and her annoying, horrible, rich dad decides to send her off to Paris for a year. And that is like the biggest deal ever, because how dare he send her to Paris without asking if she actually wants to go? That is unacceptable behavior. That's sarcasm, obviously. She gets sent off to Paris and she's real butthurt about it. She's like, I don't want to be here. Anyway, and she meets this guy called Etienne St. Clair, and she basically is like, oh my god, I have feelings for this guy, but he's got a girlfriend, so like I can't have feelings for this guy. Anyway, who knows what happens? I mean, I do, and you might as well. It has a lot of tropes, which are, you know, not great, like cheating. Also, it's had some weird comments already. Like, it had a weird comment where like Anna didn't know how to order, because also she doesn't speak a word of French, and so she didn't know how to order in the cafeteria, and so she was just like, you know, eating like granola or something like that. Anyway, and Etienne goes like, oh, I hope you're not one of those girls who doesn't eat. I'm like, that was just a weird comment that was in here. I mean, this book is pretty old. When did it even come out? It was first published in 2010. I am about halfway through. I'm having a good time. Like, it's fun. It's very readable, but I don't think that the tropes are good. And I think also Anna is really annoying me in this book this time around. Whereas before, I think I used to like her, and now I'm like, she's quite annoying. But I mean, she is also 6 or 7 years younger than me. So, you know, I'm obviously gonna get annoyed by people who are younger than me and not as mature. That happens. I'm taking that with a pinch of salt, but obviously there's cheating in this book. Like, that's not, we don't condone that shit on this channel or anywhere. I don't condone cheating, and spoiler, it happens. I can see how they're building up to like, oh, but it's reasonable because they're growing apart and all that, but it's like, then just break up. It's not that difficult. I am having fun. I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star. I'm gonna sit and read this for a while. I just got home from work. Every other Saturday I work, and I worked today just till 4 o'clock. But I'm very, very tired. It's been a long week. I'm in such a weird mood because I'm so tired. I was gonna film a video now as well, but now I'm like, maybe I should film a video. Or maybe I should and embrace the very weird energy that I've got going on. We'll see. But that is all for this update. I think I'm gonna read, actually. I don't really feel like filming right now. So I'm gonna read, and I'll talk to you once I finish the book and let you know my thoughts in the end. Hello, good morning-ish. I mean, just morning. It's 11:58 in the morning. Anyway, it is currently a Monday. I think it's been about a week since I've updated this vlog, maybe more. But anyway, I actually finished reading Anna and the French Kiss last week on Monday, so it's been a full week since I finished this book, and I just kept on forgetting to film an update clip, and then it just wasn't the right time. And then it's actually a bank holiday here today, so I had a 3-day weekend, and I was so excited to get so much filming done, so much reading done, just a lot of stuff done. And on Saturday morning I woke up with the worst sore throat. Well, actually no, not the worst sore throat, because the worst sore throat I ever had was January 2022 when I had a throat infection, and let me tell you, that was awful. That was a horrible experience. So much pain. And it was just awful. Anyway, yeah, I'm actually still not feeling 100%, but I'm pushing through today because I want to film videos, and I'm determined to do that on my extra day off that I have this week. Whatever, I finished reading Anna and the French Kiss a week ago, and I ended up giving this book a 3.5 stars. This book was, I think as I said before, like, it's very fun and it's very readable, but being a 24-year-old reading about 17-year-old characters, like, they're so annoying, which like makes sense, you know. I find 17-year-olds annoying now at the moment because I'm not 17. I'm turning 25 this year. So yeah, we're just at very different stages of life, and they make a lot of interesting choices that maybe if you're a little bit older and wiser, maybe you wouldn't make those choices. I found the characters a little bit annoying, and also the whole plot is sus because it's like, it's cheating. It's cheating. So that's not ideal. And I think some of the character reactions during the third act conflict were a little bit over the top, a little bit unnecessary, and if they had just communicated, then we could have avoided a lot of issues. Overall, I did still have a really fun time with it. I don't love it as much as I used to, obviously. Like, it's actually quite funny if you go into my Goodreads and look at my review for this book, because whenever I reread a book, I keep my previous reviews. So it's funny because it's like, first read, 5 out of 5, love this. Second read, 5 out of 5, love this even more. And then it's like, third read, It's questionable. But yes, I still had a fun time with it. I enjoyed my time reading it and I don't regret it. And will I be continuing on with the rest of the series? Yes, I will. But I'm not in a rush to read the rest of the series, but I would like to at some point because I'm like, if I like these books enough, then I'll keep them, and I want to keep them because they're so pretty. But like, am I gonna read this again? Probably not. But I remember really relating to Isla from Isla and the Happily Ever After. So I feel like maybe if I read that one and love that one, I'll keep that, but get rid of the other two. It's fine. I can decide at a later date what I'm gonna get rid of, what I'm gonna keep. It's fine. Anyway, yes, that is all for book number 2, Anna and the French Kiss. Now it's time to move on to book number 3, which is actually going to be my final book. Originally, I had kind of thought I would also read The Hunger Games because I have not read The Hunger Games since actually before I started my channel. It was in 2014, but it was before I started posting videos, but that's not why I'm not gonna read it for this video. I'm not gonna read it because my actual 9-year anniversary has been and gone. It's already almost a week past that day, and I want to get this video up on Sunday. So hopefully the day that you're seeing this is the day that I'm planning to post it. Anyway, so I've decided to scrap The Hunger Games. I will be rereading The Hunger Games at some point, but not at this point in time. So the last book that I'm going to be reading for this vlog, I'm like so nervous to read, but that book is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I'm nervous because I've read more John Green since reading this, and like as I got older and noticed things that like sometimes other people have pointed things out that I hadn't noticed before, and now those are things that I always pick up on if I read a John Green book. And I know these characters are going to be so pretentious and they're not going to sound like the 17-year-olds they're supposed to be, but I'm still, I don't know, I'm holding out hope. Anyway, I know these kids are going to be so pretentious, so I'm just a little bit nervous about reading it and not enjoying it anymore. But I'm hoping I still do. But then I also feel like I have just outgrown my John Green phase. But anyway, I'm going to start this one later today. I'm going to do some filming beforehand, but I will be reading this later on, and hopefully I can smash this out during this week. This is the shortest of the books that I've been reading for this vlog. It's only about 300 pages. I'm just gonna do it, and I'm nervous, but we're gonna see how it goes. Anyway, I will update you later on with some thoughts on The Fault in Our Stars. Who thought I would be saying that in the year 2023? Not me, but there you go. Anyway, I'll talk to you later on. Hello there, I am finally back to talk about the last book for this vlog. This vlog has been going on for over a month. I started the first book on the 3rd of May, and it's the 8th of June. So, yay for definitely finishing this on time. I actually finished this book a week ago. This is the last book for the vlog, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. The pretentious classic of the early 2010s. This book I think came out in 2012. I first read it in 2013, but then I reread it in 2014, which is when I started my channel, because the movie was coming out and I became obsessed with it again. I don't know why I was obsessed with this book, so I finished the book. Again, I didn't do a check-in. I'm sorry. I meant to do a check-in, but I was just like flying through it. It's very readable. I will give you that. It's a very quick read. It's also like only about 300 pages, so it's quick and it packs a punch. So if you wanted to read something that's going to be a tearjerker and make you feel a lot of things in a short space of time, it's a good book for that. However, the story itself is kind of weird. If you don't know, this book basically follows our two main characters, Hazel and Augustus. Anyway, Hazel has cancer and Gus did previously have cancer, but he's now in remission, and they meet at this cancer support group for teenagers because they both have this friend Isaac who they kind of meet through. Anyway, and they end up going on this very weird trip to Amsterdam to meet their favorite author. Anyway, it's all quite weird, really, that whole aspect, and there isn't really much of a story. It's a book about being a teenager and living with cancer and being in love, and I would say it's not a bad book. I don't have any negative feelings towards this book. However, I also don't think it's the best book ever written, and I think a lot of people talk about it like it is, and it's really not. It's very pretentious. Like, no 17-year-old sounds the way that these characters sound. They're equally immature, but also pretentious and way too wise for their years at the same time, which is very weird. It's a weird juxtaposition. That being said, I did actually enjoy my time reading it. It did actually almost make me cry. I didn't cry, but only because, like, through sheer willpower, I told my tear ducts It's not happening because I was very emotional reading this, but I was at work on my lunch break and I was like, I cannot go back to work like crying. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna cry. I'm not gonna let it happen. But it is very sad. Yeah, it's a sad book. It's, you know, a book about life and death and living with an illness. And I don't know, that's all that it is really. And it's not bad. It's not amazing. It's just, it's fine. I think on this reread, I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars, I think, because there were bits of it that I enjoyed. There were bits of it I didn't enjoy. Maybe a 3-star actually, you know, maybe just like straight middle of the road 3-star. I won't reread it again. I'll actually probably unhaul it because I think I'm done with my whole John Green era, but I don't regret rereading it. Not the most positive note, but not the most negative note either. The most negative note of this video was Divergent. That one was a big disappointment. This one, I was expecting to feel the way that I feel, you know? Anyway, but that is all that I have for this reading vlog, where I reread books that I used to love when I started my channel 9 years ago. It was, you know, relatively successful, kind of. I only didn't like one of the books that I reread, and the other two I felt kind of indifferent about, but overall, I had a relatively fun time. Yeah, I got to celebrate 9 years on BookTube. Anyway, but that is all that I have for this video, this 9 years on BookTube celebration. Please let me know what books you used to love, like when you first started your channel, if you post videos, or if you can just remember as far back as 2014. Let me know what books you were loving. Let's relive 2014 in the comments. But that is all that I have for this video, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe down below, and if you made it all the way to the end of the video, please leave me like a cloud emoji for the fault in our stars. That's all I have, so I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye. You're really far away today.
In the backyard of your old farm in the summer, stayed there for 3 weeks where we learned to love each other. Wrote you letters, sent a message to the that day. Skip to the present.